Hi, I'm Nicole Crane, and this is Brad Hartkoff with the Iowa Association of Business and Industry. We're members of the ABI Public Policy Team, and we wanted to give you a preview of the week ahead for Week 6 of the 2019 legislative session. There's been a lot happening already in the legislative session, and I just wanted to give you an idea of how many bills have been introduced. So Brad, could you give us a few of the statistics?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nicole. The legislature isn't wasting any time filing bills. Right now there are over 1,000 bills out there, so we're tracking several different things. Just this past week there were over 100 subcommittees, right around 100 subcommittees. Nicole and I attended about 25 of those, and so we're definitely spending a lot of energy covering several topics that ABI members care about. And we don't expect the pace to slow down anytime soon.
Well, in the first funnel, which for those of you who may not be familiar, the Iowa legislature has funnels. There's 2 of them during a legislative session. The first one is a bill has to be out of one policy committee in either the Senate or the House in order to remain alive. As with everything in the legislature, there are some exceptions. If it's a Ways and Means, so a tax bill, an appropriations bill, or government oversight bill, those bills do continue to be considered throughout the session and are not subject to the funnel deadline. So we have just a few weeks into the first funnel, so really what we plan on spending our time on this coming week is trying to talk to legislators and educate them about some of the challenges that we have with some of the bills that we've seen, whether that be some of the guns in the parking lots for employers, the staffing agency restrictions. There's several issues out there that we've talked to ABI members about, they've read about in our newsletter, and that's really what we're going to be spending our time on these next couple weeks. But there's also, I'm looking ahead at the meetings this next week, and there's also a lot of subcommittees that are coming up. And Brad, I don't know if you could talk to the members a little bit about what we plan to see next week and what we're going to be attending.
Absolutely. Nicole, there are several items on the docket for next week. House File 302, this is kind of a regulatory reform issue that Representative Jacobson, he's filed this bill. It's a rule, the bill would allow a rule filing that adds 1 or more regulations to the code, shall also rescind a number of regulations equal to at least the number of regulations added. So
that's a mouthful.
Right, exactly. Trying to clean up the code book there, limit that burdensome.
When we've seen a little bit of that at the federal level as well, where you've seen the 1 in, 2 out type thing to really start addressing some of those rules that we've seen at the federal level. We're also seeing that attempt at the state level with the bill by Representative Jacobson, and we've seen a couple of those on the Senate side. So I think that'll be an interesting conversation to be a part of as well this next week.
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to that. And we also have e-notary out there, Senate Study Bill 1116. There was a subcommittee this past week. Senator Knoyer is chairing that subcommittee. And then Representative Jacobson, who has the regulatory reform bill, is also chairing the subcommittee in the House, and we expect a bill subcommittee to be held pretty soon on that. It would allow really to streamline the process when it comes to notaries and really help increase the efficiency of transactions.
Bring us into the modern day with using modern day technology, and there's a lot of bills out there throughout the country on this issue, and it sounds like there's a lot of interest in Iowa as well, so look forward to seeing how that plays out.
Senator Whiting also filed a bill, Senate File 133, that creates a new resident tax credit against the individual income tax. This is another proposal that he's had that would really try to address the population here in Iowa. He's had several proposals out there, and like how he's trying to think outside the box and really trying to fill the gap of people that we are lacking here in the state to help fill the workforce needs.
We've also seen one from Senator Brown. We haven't seen that bill move forward yet, but that would address if someone's outside the state and moves to Iowa in a high demand job from one state to the other, that they would receive an income tax. And this one is a little bit different than that, maybe not as many parameters set around it, but it's interesting to see this conversation. And again, it's a tax issue, so it would be able to continue through the session even if it doesn't make the funnel, as long as it is in the Ways and Means Committee. And then there's a couple of final regulatory issues on the DNR side. There's a few more subcommittees, I should say, coming up next week on those.
Yeah, there Senate Study Bill 1120. It creates an in lieu fee program that's dealing with compensatory mitigation, and then Senate Study Bill 1119 is kind of an administrative procedure bill for the DNR, kind of mostly technical, but trying to clean up some things there. And so those are 2 things that we're tracking moving forward into next week, and we'll be watching to see how all of these subcommittees develop.
And those are 2 issues that there are already House bills introduced. They've already moved through the subcommittee process in the House, and we have sent that out to the ABI Environment Committee to ask for their feedback. So if you are a member of the Environment Committee and would like to provide us some feedback, that'd be great. And then also before we close, I just want to remind everyone, Business Day on the Hill is March 13th. We have a great agenda lined up. There's lots of issues to talk about. It'll be right after the first funnel is completed, so you'll have the opportunity to talk to legislators and educate them on issues that are still moving forward from the session. And then stay tuned for more information about some of ABI's key priorities that we've yet to see be introduced in the legislative session, but we do see those coming in the next couple of weeks. So thanks so much for all your support of ABI, and we look forward to seeing you on the Hill soon.